Yeah, so this is the method we had seen, the student's method. If this is a given number, she would break it up into groups of two, take the remainder for each two-digit group, add up the remainders, and the answer that came, if that was 0 or a multiple of 11, then the number is divisible by 11. Otherwise, it gives the remainder with 11. So we had tried to figure out why this works. So we can start with a hint. So we have here, okay, 100 when divided by 11, the remainder is 1. So for 10,000, what would be the remainder? How can we go about thinking about this? So we can use the same, visualization that we had used last session. So 10,000 consists of how many hundreds?
200.
Hundreds.
100 hundreds, right? So you can consider 10,000 as 100 group of hundreds. Right, and there are 100 of these. So now each of these
one pebble left over.
Will leave
Left over
one pebble out.
One
Correct.
pebble, yeah.
Correct. One pebble will be left out.
Then 100 pebble left over.
So there are 100 pebbles left. From 10,000, there are 100 pebbles left.
Yeah.
But we already know if there are 100 pebbles left,
1.
we can regroup them
as 1.
And again have one pebble left.
Okay.
So is this helping?
So it's because it's based on number of the place value.
Right.
If the place value is an even power, we know we will have a remainder of 10. And if it is at odd, then we will be left with 1.
Okay.
So we are basically just and it's the same thing. So that's why we have grouped them into 67, 8, like whatever, grouped them into two places together, and
right.
then we are seeing what's the remainder.
Right. So why is it that adding up the remainders will give the total remainder?
Because it's like if I have
1 and 10.
Because if I have say 67, I'm saying it's same as saying divide 60 and then divide 7.
Yeah.
So I can always add the remainder.
Last year we discussed 1 and 10, 110, 110 repeats that way.
Right. So so this 11 method is now apparent why it works, right?
Okay.
So how can we extend this to 7? So with 7, what are the remainders we have? So remainder with 1, ones is 1. Remainder with 10s, with 10 is 3. Remainder with 100 is 2. Remainder with 1,000 is 6. Remainder with 10,000 is 4.
It is 4.
And remainder with
5.
1 lakh is 5.
5.
Yeah. So where we saw that it was alternating remainders for 11, it was alternating remainders 1 and 10. And there we simplified exactly like Madhu ma'am, you said that if you take the odd powers, then we are only looking at remainder 1. We have removed 10 from the equation by not looking at the by not looking at the odd powers of 10, right? So yeah, how can we apply the same thing to this? Okay, so if you look at the progression, right, for 3 and 9, we had remainder 1 for every place value. For 11, or 3 and 9, it was remainder 1 every place value. For 11, we had remainder 1 every alternate place value. So can we change one of these variables? So we changed how many place values we are looking at. We changed that to come up with the test for 11. Is there any other variable that we can change to come up with a test for 7, given that these are the remainders? Is there any pattern here in the remainders of 7 that we can utilize to come up with a test?
If it is odd power, ma'am, if it odd power, that 10 to the power of 0, 10 square and like that. So even number, sorry. If it consider 10 to the power of 0, 10 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 4, that is power 2 power 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 square. The remainder 1, 2, that is 2 to the power of 0, right. 2, 1, 2 square.
Okay.
That way.
Very interesting observation. Yes. So with 10 to the power of 0, the remainder is 2 to the power of 0. Remainder is equal to 2 to the power of 0. With 10 to the power of 2, remainder is 2 to the power of 1.
Power of 1. 10 to the power of
4.
4. Remainder is 2 square.
Okay. What will be the next number in this pattern?
10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 6 is equal to
6.
Is equal
what would be the remainder?
2 to the power of 2 cube.
2 to the power of
3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It must, okay. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, try that.
But here, when you take it the power odd number, ma'am, yeah, but you don't get that pattern, right? Why?
So in odd number powers, that pattern is not there. Correct. We are getting
not in 6, 5, 5, 5. You get it. Again, it comes 1. Then again 3, 6, 5. Okay, it looks like pattern like that. 3, 6, 5, 3, 6, 5, 3, 6, 5. Here 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, like that. You may get it.
Right.
Again, but it should not be 3 again, I feel. It must be 2 to the power of 0, right? 10 to the power of 6 is 2 to the power of 0. 0, am I right? It is not 2 cube, I feel.
2 cube is nothing but 8.
Yeah.
And remainder of 8. Remainder of 8 with
2 cube.
7. Right. So 8 divided by 7, the remainder would be
1. That's why
1.
So
the remainder.
Yeah. So we can simplify this. We can simplify this and say 10 to the power of 6, remainder is 1.
1. Again 2 to the power of 0.
Again 2 to the power of 0. Correct. So will this pattern repeat again?
Yeah, the pattern does repeat. For 10 to the power of 8, remainder is 2.
Okay. 10 to the power of 8, remainder is 2, and so on it continues. 10 to the power of 10, remainder will be 4, which is 2 squared. And if in the next step, it would be 2 cube again, and that is nothing but 1. The remainder of 8 with 7 would be 1, and so the pattern will repeat 1, 2, 4. Okay. So we have this nice pattern of remainders now. Remainders pattern for alternate place values. I think we are at the threshold of creating the divisibility test now. How can we use this information to formulate the test?
Is it always sum up to 7 here? Ma'am?
Does what always sum up to 7, sir?
I've taken 21 example. It is divisible by 7.
Okay.
So I applied 10 to the power of 0 unit place and tens place. So here 10 to the power of 200, 10 plus 10 there. So 10 to the power of 1 means, we already 10 to the power of 1 means 3 plus 3, 6 over here. 10 to the power of 0 is always 1. So that 6 plus 1 is 7. So it is, when the sum up is 7, it is divisible by 7.
Yes, yes. So if it is either 0 or multiple of 7, it's divisible by 7.
7. Yes. That is, so I not just for 3 digit. I went for again 14.
Okay.
14. 4 left over. That is 10 to the power of 0, it is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. Again, it came out 7.
Okay.
Then again, sum up to 7. It is always for 7 or 0. I don't know.
So, so if like what the student did, if we basically look at alternate digits.
Right.
So we will look at alternate.
Shall I take some number? 138.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
138.
So if 138 is there, we will look at 1 and 8 together. So one like one. If I consider, 1 and 8 together. I'll think of it. Yeah.
Okay.
And 3 separate.
Okay.
8.
So if I consider the place value, then I know that 100 will leave a remainder of 2.
Correct.
And 8 will leave a remainder of
1.
So 3. And then third place we have 10th place we will have a remainder of 3. So 9.
How is this? Oh, 3 3s are 9. Okay, got it.
Then 9. So then I will be left with remainder of 2.
So 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. So how did you get remainder as 2?
No, so basically remainder 9 means remainder 2.
Oh, okay. Understood.
So then I have remainder of 5 total.
Okay. Total remainder is 5. Which did work. Yes. Yeah. So let me list down the operations that we had to do for this. So 138, we took remainder of this with 7. We multiplied this by 3 and took the remainder with 7. And we multiplied this by 2 and took the remainder with 7. Is this what we were doing?
Yeah. The first one is 8.
Yeah. So here just okay, I should write that as multiplied by 1.
Yeah.
Because 1 is the remainder with.
Remainder.
Yeah. Okay.
No, 8 remainder, no. Because 10 to the power of 0 is 10 to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, 7. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 1 remainder, correct.
No, what I was writing down was what is the multiplier we used in each place value. Okay, and then we have to take remainder with 7, remainder with 7, remainder with 7, right?
Yeah.
So multiply by 1, take the remainder with 7. Multiply by 3, take the remainder with 7. Multiply by 2, take the remainder with 7. Yeah, this is working perfectly. Can we try it for a bigger number? Let's say 11,357. So again, we have to multiply it by 1, multiplied by 3, multiply this by 2, this by 6.
5, 6, and this is 5.
This by 4. 5. Yeah. So this is getting a little heavy on computation, right? So since we saw this pattern of 1, 2, 4, and these are easy to multiply, right? So can we use that? And this happens only alternate place values, right?
Yes.
So like in the case of 11, with alternate place value. So like this. So here, you can think of this as 57 ones, right? And this would be 13 hundredths and this would be 1 10,000.
So we will basically like for the 57 we will divide by 7 and we'll see what is the remainder.
Okay.
So and for 1300 we know that hundreds the remainder is 2, so 13 into 2.
Right. Do we need to go with 13 all of it, or can we use your trick where you said remainder for 57? Can we do the same trick here? So first step is 57. Can I start using mod for remainder? Is this okay? 57 mod 7. Yeah. So this is 1. Then multiply that 1 by 1. So remainder is 1. Okay. Here 13 mod 7 is 6. And then we have to multiply it by
2.
So the total remainder is
12 and then 5.
5. Perfect. Now we come to the 1.
So that is, we know remainder is 4.
Correct. So 1 times 4. So remainder is 4. So if we add 4 plus 5 plus 1, that gives us 10. So again, we can just take 10 mod 7. That gives us a remainder of 3. Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly what I had come up with. And yeah, this is working fine.
Madam, I looked into another way. So that is 11357. So I didn't go to mod there. So then I take it as 57, unit place 57 only once there. Okay. Then I went with 10 to the power of 1, remainder is 2. I multiply 3 actually. Am I right? 10 to the power of 1, 3. 13 3 is a 39. So then...
no. Remainder here...
This is 5. Yeah. But 1 left over here is 5. So second place, I left it 5 there.
Okay, can you please repeat for me? So 11357. Yeah. So you're saying 57?
Again, 1 you get it remainder there.
57 remainder is 1. Okay.
Then I went with 13. I divided by 7. I get 5 remainder there.
Remainder is 5.
5. Yeah.
Okay.
This one I have to divide by what? I'm not finding. 1 5 I got it. So if it is 10, then 1. So I stuck there because you are telling according to if I add up 2 there, because 10 square is 2. Am I right? Remainder is 2.
Right. So 1 second. So if you took directly remainder of 13 with 7, it would be 6 and not 5.
Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So the thing is, this is not 13, right? This is 1300.
100, yeah. I looked into divide into 2s, then I find out.
Exactly. You have to multiply this by 2 because every 100 leaves a remainder of 2. So we have to multiply this by 2.
2, yeah, 2.
So 13 2s are 26.
6.
Then the remainder will be
6.
5 because 21 is divisible by. Yeah. So now we have here 10,000.
10,000 means again 10 to the power of 4. 10 to the power of 4 means 0. 10 to the power of 4 is 4. Right?
Right.
4 plus 10. 10 by 3 is the remainder. Am I right? Correct. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. So now the next question is, can we use this insight and this ideas that we got from this, can we use it for more numbers? Can we use it for, so the reason that this works is because 98 is divisible by 7, right?
Yeah.
What are the other factors of 98? Actually, before we go there, I just want to summarize the method that we came up with. Let me just quickly summarize it. So if we have any number 51, 60, 72, what we do is we split. Let me add one more number here, 6. So we split it into groups of 2, right? So the multipliers for this group is going to be 1. The multiplier for this group is going to be 2, because these are hundreds, and 100 leaves remainder of 2 with 7. So multiplier will be 2, and this will be 10,000. So the multiplier here is going to be 4, and then the pattern repeats. It will be 1 again. So 72 leaves a remainder of 2 with 7. 60 leaves a remainder of 4 with 7. 51 leaves a remainder of 2 with 7, and 6 leaves a remainder of 6. So 2 times 1, 4 times 2, and 2 times, the multiplier here is 4, so 2 times 4, and 6 times 1. So we have 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 2. That is 22. Then again, if we divide this by 7, the remainder will come as 1. So this is the summary of the method. So sir, your initial method that you had, right, of multiply the last digit by 2 and subtract it from the remaining number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to apply that to this, 6, 5, 1, 6, 0, 7, 2, it will require a lot more operations.
Mm-hmm.
But probably there are simpler operations for students to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here the number of operations for a larger number will be less, and also this will give us the remainder, whereas in times 2, so 2 times 2, and 6, 5, 1, 6, 0, 7 minus 2 times 2. This is what that method is. So here it's difficult to get what is the remainder.
Yeah.
Whereas here we not only know whether it's divisible or not, but we are getting the remainder also.
But divisibility starts in our school. That is for all children. They start from 5th, because they use fraction and multiple, everything multiple and factors. They read from 3rd also, but usually we focus on divisibility on 5th, 4th, and 5th, because they are using lot of fractions and everything. So then, how do you apply here? Suppose what we observed to 10 to the power of 0 exponents and indices and everything, it is very difficult for them. Then how to make it very easier for them to up to yeah.
I think this may be too difficult for 5th graders and 6th graders.
Yeah.
Probably
of course.
high school kids can use such a method. I think more as an exercise in understanding divisibility, this was useful for me. Which method to use when, I think it will depend on the student's capability and what do we need. If we need remainder, we'll have to use something like this. If we only care about divisibility, then we can use whatever is simpler. Okay, so Madhu ma'am, do you want to explore, Jagdish sir, you also, if you can explore like this, what we did with the remainder for 10, for 100, remainder for 10,000 that we did for 7. Can we apply that to any other number, say for 13 or 17?
All prime numbers.
Yeah.
Prime numbers.
Can we use that to come up with test for some more numbers? That we can try. That can be our open question for this week.
If we bring it to this type or any number of digit, if we bring it to 3 digit or 2 digit, easily we can find out for divisible by 11, 7, like that type. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
3-digit is a little bit more difficult.
okay.
You'll have to look at dividing 3 digits and finding the remainder in your head.
Then if it is 2-digit means very easy to identify it.
Very easy, yeah.
Very easy. So any number of digit you have to bring it to 2-digit.
If we can bring it to 2-digit, then we can have a easy test.
Easy test, yeah. So bring it to 2-digit, you have to look into that. That is all prime numbers. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the reason this works for 7 is because 98 is divisible by 7.
7, yeah.
So 100 leaves a remainder of 2. So what else? What are the other factors of 98? What other numbers close to 100? What are the factors of other numbers close to 100 that we can explore and come up with similar tests?
So one thing I felt is like, because based on the place value, we are looking at remainders, and that's how we are doing pairing.
Yeah.
So what we were trying to do was by adding. So I think that doesn't it doesn't matter. Like, it's more main is like what is the remainder at that position, and you have to multiply it with the number at that position, and that's it.
Correct.
There is no other simpler way of doing it, basically.
Yeah, it is based on that. But
because then there is no point, like for example what we were trying to see, right, that like 7 and 1, like add, like that will make, it won't make any difference because we anyway have to multiply with remainder, right? So it will not be of use at all.
Right. Yeah. So the sometimes it gives a nice pattern. So this 2 squared, 1 2 2 squared 2 cube was a very nice pattern, right?
Yeah. So there it
simplified things. Yeah, it simplified things.
Yeah.
So we can explore if similar patterns come for other numbers. So I was trying 95. So 95 is divisible by 19. So we actually get 5 squared, 5 cubed. But I could not devise a good test for 19 based on that. Again, because I failed to find a pattern. But if we all put our minds to it, we might come up with something.
One more thing I always wondered is like, how will I think all these tests will fall apart if we use a different number system. That is obvious.
Yes.
But there we may find some more interesting patterns also.
Yeah. There may be better tests actually in some other
nice
base
tests.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, Bhagyashree, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.